going to start off this video by mentioning that I'm going to have to start this video out on a sad note again. Seems like I'm doing that more often. And with that being, the news being Bob Gibson, the old Cardinals pitcher from the 60s and 70s, has passed away at the age of 84 from a bout with pancreatic cancer. Now that comes on the eve of the news of the Cardinals losing to the Padres in the wild card, and Jack Flaherty, who's pretty close with him, and so with Yachty, that I feel like I never watched him play. Of course, Gibson. I've never watched him play. I always heard stories about Bob Gibson from my dad, and from the stories that my dad told me, Bob Gibson was the best pitcher he's ever seen. Bob Gibson was the most intimidating pitcher that he's ever seen. And Bob Gibson was the most dominant pitcher he has ever seen. He was always nasty. He was always mad. He was always angry. And he was always dominant. No matter if it was a Sunday start in June or if it was Game 7 of the World Series. He was always on it. And he was always ready to come out and throw a no-hitter. That's what he wanted to do every game, was come out there, scare you, intimidate you, and dominate you physically, mentally, and emotionally in the box. And he was not afraid to throw inside whatsoever. And I think that's what younger fans need to do most with this sport, is to appreciate the past and appreciate the people that made baseball what it is today, whether the good or the bad. You have to appreciate what it is now, and you have to appreciate these guys, these Hall of Famers, these veterans, whoever, while they're still alive, to fully appreciate them. Because you can't do that afterwards. And this comes a month after Brock's passing, which they were very close. And just seems like more and more that I'm doing more and more of these. But no, I mean, like I said, I never watched Gibson play. Only thing I know of him is from the very few things that I've seen of him. Some other times that he was, he'd come into the press box and talk during like the World Series in 13 and stuff like that. During some maybe random games in the summer, he'd come in just to sit down and talk. But no, I think I can't say anything for Gibson that hasn't already been said. So I'm going to pivot to the Cardinals losing the wild card series against San Diego. Boy, did yesterday's game have me frustrated. Yesterday night's game had me frustrated. We finally got run support in the first 2 games of the season. Our incompetent offense finally decided, you know what? We're going to put up not just 4 runs in the first 2 innings. We're going to put up 6 runs in the first 4 innings. And we're going to put up 9 runs in total. And if we put up 9 runs in total, we usually win the game. We ended up losing because of our bullpen giving up 9 runs in game 2. And I think 3 or 4 innings, our bullpen gave up 9 flipping runs. You don't go anywhere. You don't even make it to the postseason with having your bullpen be that horrible in just 1 game. now you have Jack Flaherty on the mound, who struggled this season, and he comes out in Game 3, a do-or-die game, essentially, and pitches a masterpiece, pitches his ass off. Does 105 pitches to 6, and we lose. Which that's the Cardinals team that this year has showed me, is we cannot get run support for certain pitchers. We can't get run support at all half the time. It's just, where did the offense go from Game 1 and 2 to Game 3? It wasn't there. And then you had, in the third inning, you had bases loaded. You had, Tim Hill on the, was it Hill? I think it was Hill. You had, it was either Hill or Morejon. I think it was Hill. You had Hill on the ropes, bases loaded, with Carlson coming up. Carlson's been red hot these past 2 games. He comes in, throw him a curveball down in the dirt, and swings at it. That's what he struggled with before they sent him back to the alternate training site, was the low curveball. And he did not get a fastball that entire at-bat. It was all off speed. And they were making sure that Carlson was not going to beat him. And I will have to say this for the Padres. The better team won. Game 3, the better team won. Flat out. Yes, was there bad calls from the umpires? Yes. Were there bad calls on the Padres as well as the Cardinals? Yes. Umpiring wasn't favoring one team or the other. Now, were there more egregious calls for one team than the other? Probably. But they were probably the same amount of blown calls, strikes, and balls. But the question for me about the Cardinals is, where did the offense go? Going into next season, they have to figure out a way to get a more stable offense. Because you can't be going from 8 runs to 9 runs to 0 runs in a 3-day span. You just can't. And especially against a Padres team that played a bullpen game practically all 3 games. I mean, Paddock only went 2 1/3. Davies went 3 1/3. And Stamen was the starter. The Padres used 9 bullpen arms, which is the most in regular season, postseason, and any play since 1901. And you cannot hit any one of them. Morejon, I could understand. That dude was lights out the entire series. But Rosenthal in the bottom of the 9th, or in the top of the 9th, what's going on? You know who Rosenthal is. You know what he throws. He was on your damn team. Granted, 8 to 6 years ago. Or 6 to, yeah. Just, what's going on? You had him on the ropes in Game 2. I said after Game 2, we were probably going to lose the series. Because Game 2 was our chance. And we blew it. I keep saying we. Cardinals blew it. Cardinals blew Game 2. So I was not surprised that they didn't win Game 3. The Padres are a momentum-based team. So are the Cardinals. They have been the entire time I've been alive. They have been a momentum team. And the ball of momentum was fully in the Padres' court. And they just kept dunking and dunking and dunking on the heads of Cardinal players. They would not let them get that chance. And even when there was the chance, you had Dylan Carlson striking out. You had Dexter Fowler hitting one to the track. You had Yachty hit one to the track, dead center. It's just the luck for the Cardinals ran out. Game 2 was the luck, and it ran out. And then Game 3 was the how close are we going? How close are the Cardinals going to get to winning, but actually end up losing this week? And then you had Tatis make an amazing play at second for a double play. That was a really great play. How did he keep his foot on base? And then what made me start to think was that we're losing this game was the 7th. It's already 1-0. You have, jeez, who was on the mound? Oh, jeez, who was it? Don't remember. But you had bases loaded. And you have, bases loaded. I forget who hits it. You got a ground ball. Right to third. So it's a force out at any base. Tommy Edman jumps up, misses the bag, throws home, spikes in the dirt. Yachty can't grab it. The runner's safe at home. The runner is safe at third because Edman didn't touch the bag. So it's 2-0, no outs. What happens? Single up the middle. Run scores 3-0, bottom 7. So I'm like, oh, great. And at that point, I'm like, I don't know if I can watch this game. And I didn't. I said, we're losing. And the lock ran out. Plain and simple. That's it. And then I believe Hosmer hit a home run in the bottom of the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe Hosmer hit a home run in the bottom of the 2nd, or bottom of the 8th. And that was the game. 4-0 Padres. Cardinals had 2 errors, one of the most improved teams defensively. Defense didn't help them. I mean, you had Colton Wong fail a easy double play. Granted, it was probably hard for him to make that turn, but easy double play missed from Wong. Just the routine play that you expect out of Gold Glover, Colton Wong, and Paul DeYoung, who are both really good defensively. Just, it wasn't there. When you needed it the most, it poofed, it was gone. And Edman as well. But no, better team won. Good luck for the Padres. Finally made it back to the postseason after 14 years, and they're going further. They're going to play the Padres, or they're playing themselves. Yeah, okay. They're playing the Dodgers in the National League Divisional Series. So that's going to be fun, especially if Kershaw pitches in one of these games, which you would think he would have to. Because Kershaw was dominant against the Brewers in Game 2? Game 1. He was completely lights out. And I just hope for a good series. I hope for a good playoffs. That's all I hope for at this point. But if you guys liked it, press the like button, subscribe down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. Share this video with all your friends and buddies. And I will see you guys in the next video.